It's Sunday the 26th. Nothing all that exciting. Just been shopping and delivering all day long. And it's Sunday. Here in San Francisco, they had the San Francisco Marathon, which is a giant loop all the way around the city. So closed streets everywhere. And some sort of a gay festival, because there were half-naked men in leather chaps and, barely anything else all over the area near Costco. I've somehow lucked out that both of the batches I did were not going near any of that, other than, of course, there's 9th, 10th, and 11th are all closed right next to the Costco, which is a real pain in the butt. But yet it hasn't affected me on that very much yet. We're getting passed by kids on an electric bicycle. I'm doing 20 miles an hour and they're doing 21. And they're gonna head on into a bus, trying to get themselves freaking killed. So, my aunt has offered to take Angel to watch him. And she also offered at the apartment next to her, my grandma was in. Basically, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, pretty large in size, built inside their outbuilding, their big barn outbuilding. And it's pretty nice inside, it really is. But all the windows are up really high, you can't see outside at all. You're always, enclosed, which would be great for if you're trying to sleep during the day. Trying to sleep at night, of course, it's irrelevant. Except that during the day you can't see outside. And got a bus here that's trying to turn this corner. It's a slinky bus, and you can't do it because me and the Tesla in front of me are out here in the street. There's nothing that says that we have to be stopped way back, but we made it through. So, I don't know how that would work out. I am going to be driving in the beginning. So let's say I drop Angel off, I bring Ivy back to California, drop her off at people that are going to watch her for 6-8 weeks. Technically it's 5 to 7 weeks, but that's what we're looking at, 5 to 7 weeks. And then I go on the road for 4 to 6 weeks. So I've got 1 week of orientation, 4 to 6 weeks of driving, which is why I'm saying 5 to 7 weeks. At the end of the 5 to 7 weeks, they issue me a truck and send me back to Gridley, where my address and my driver's license go, and I get 1 week to pack up and basically move into the truck. Okay, so now I'm living in the truck. The plan has always been for me to immediately hit the road for 3 months. Just drive nonstop for 3 months. Every day, except for 1 day a week, because I'm going to try to do like a 10-hour-a-day shift. Drive 10 hours, Monday through Saturday. If I get behind, I can make up a little, because you're allowed to drive 11 hours a day. But at the end of the 6th day, I want to have 60 hours in. Plain and simple. That's 60 hours of driving is what I've got in on Saturday evening. Then Sunday I take the day off. No matter where I am, it doesn't matter where I am. I just stop the truck Saturday evening, and I am not driving again until Monday morning. So then Monday I can drive 10 hours, and I'm still within the legal 70 hours every 8 days. I'm going to do this every week for 3 months. I'm not going to stop. I mean, I'll stop to get loads, or I'll stop to drop off loads here and there, because I don't know how that's going to be. Some of it's going to be drop and hook. Some of it's going to be, I'm sure that because it's a refrigerated truck, I'll probably have to sit and wait for a little while on some loads. I don't know. But 3 months. That's 4.5 months already. At that point, I've got enough experience, and a lot more companies will hire me, and I'll start looking for companies that I can take the bird with me. But if that doesn't pan out, if I don't find another company that'll pay me as much or not more, or if not more, by the, at that point, then I'm going to get 1 week off. I'm going to want to come back to California, go through my boat, maybe put it on the hard. So have it hauled out and have a company paint the bottom while I'm here. And then immediately leave again for another 3 months. So now I'm on the road for another 3 months. So now we're talking 7.5 months of driving. At the end of that 3 months, I really don't want to have an apartment that I'm never at and will never be at the entire time. That just doesn't make any sense at all. The second that I have a company that'll let me take the bird, then I'll be out of there. I won't stay at Lana's house anymore. Or he won't stay at Lana's house anymore. Which is the goal. I wouldn't even drop him off over there or be trying to find somebody to watch him if Knight or Swift or Werner or Schneider or what's the other one, Milton or Swift or Western Express. If any of these companies would let me take the bird, I just take the bird. I can find somebody to watch him for 5 to 7 weeks, real easy. Driving all the way to Colorado to drop him off for that period of time wouldn't make any sense. But I could probably find somebody to watch him for 5 to 7 weeks while I get that initial training. But none of these companies will let me take him until I'm hired by another carrier than these mega carriers. These mega carriers that hire new drivers just will not let me have him. Which is annoying, because they'll let absolutely non-English speaking drivers that can't read a sign, they'll let them ride in their truck, drive their trucks. They can even smoke in the trucks in many companies. I don't smoke. I hope my truck doesn't smell like smoke. If it does, I'd have to refuse it because of the bird. He can't be exposed to nicotine. It'll kill him. But that's where we are right now. I have got to figure this out. I really don't think that I want to rent their apartment, though. I don't think that's going to fly. I mean, it's really sweet that they would offer me that, and I could not come back to California except to get my boat and my stuff. But $7,000 to live in that apartment, or to have my stuff stored in that apartment, because I won't be there. I could live in my van for the 4 or 5 days that I get off every few months. The point of this whole thing is to buy property, and I've seen 4 to 7 acre properties that I could buy for $6,000. Buy them outright. And in 6 months, I'd have enough money that I could buy it, have them put one of those instant barns on it, a metal prefab, just drop it off, set it on the pad, and then I could live in that. Not legally, but I mean, if I'm only there a couple days a week, pull my van in there, nobody'd even know I was there, and it'd be my land. Get a P.O. box in a neighboring town for all my mail to go to. That would be fantastic. But so I'm going to call Lana after I get off work, after I get done, shopping for Instacart, and see what pans out, what she says. But I just really don't think that the apartment at her place is a smart move. And it's tempting. If I was actually going to live there, I'd go for it in a second. But I'm not. I'm going to be living in the truck. So it's $7,000 for their apartment to sit empty while I'm, driving around the country. That doesn't make any sense. If I want to take some time off at her house, like if I want to take a vacation and go hang out with my bird, I can sleep in the van. I'll build this into a camper in the first week that I'm out there, and then I can just stay in the van every time. That would make a lot more sense. But I don't even think that that's going to be necessary. At most 6 months, and I've got the bird in the truck. Anyway, there we go. 10 minutes.